So it's strange because I'm at a I'm at a very strange paradox in my life. Uh this is a very strange time for me, and it's strange because everything is going really good right now except financially. Uh well, at least I still am trying, have ambition and want to do something and trying to make ends meet while doing YouTube. It feels like everything around me has been fucking decaying for the longest, and I do have dreams of having a business and being an entrepreneur and having my own thing, but it feels like that dream is out of reach. The fact that I had to apply to 40 jobs and nobody hired me, which is another topic with the job market as a whole, which I will probably get to in another video. Um, but the whole topic that I want to talk about is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Uh, and it's also Pride Month, which I'll probably get to in another video. But for this video, I just want to focus on men's mental health awareness. Um, to me, I had my fair share of it, and one of the common things that men are told to do when dealing with these struggles is to just suck it up and hope for the best. And although it provides accountability, responsibility, and being strong for others and speaking up for others that can't, it's a very toxic way to grow up, because now you're dealing with a whole bunch of emotions that are inside of you just waiting to burst, and it's like a powder keg just waiting to explode. It does feel, and it does feel like people are pulling at you in every which way and expecting you to be the person that they want, and when you go off the rails, it's just second second nature. It's like a third world country. Like, it's like being dropped into a foreign land where you never really think about the just you never really think about the other person. People always think about themselves, and I feel like that's a big problem in this day and age within our generation. Shit, our generation has been desensitized so much to the level of violence that has been shown. And then you got Gen Alpha, Gen Beta coming up. You got people relying on Chat GPT just as young as 3 years old, which is crazy to me. Shout out to Casey Simpson for his deep dives and analytical views on this, like, Gen Beta kids and Gen Alpha, um, Gen Z as well. But I feel like there is some hope. There is some hope for our society, but to do this, we're gonna have to address the problems and tackle the problems one by one. We can't talk about the problem and not try to come up with a better solution for it. But for me, I just don't want to have. It feels like I'm kind of at a crossroads. Although I do have a lot of optimism left, I feel like that optimism has been taken advantage of over the last several years. Before even this YouTube stuff started, I really did not know what I was doing, and even though I'm not at the level that I want to be yet, it just comes from a level of patience and obedience to the fact that the sun will rise again, and I will be a better person for it, and will eventually be able to earn somewhat of a living and support myself and my future endeavors. But back to the men's mental health. This starts off when you're young and you're not allowed to open up, and it's fucked up because you go through your whole life wondering, is it fair that I'm supposed to take shit on the chin, that I'm supposed to be cheated on, that I'm supposed to be to have a bad grade on a test and I'm supposed to just suck it up, that I can get through a divorce with my parents and a new man comes into the house beating on my mom. Is that fair for me to deal with that? Is that fair to me to have an abusive father or abusive stepdad or parents that have died or something of the sort? Is it fair? Is it fair? And even second aspect of it is to discipline people. People that are nuanced and people that and should you spank your child? No. In very like there's certain, let me get this clear. There's certain situations where spanking a child is necessary, but it shouldn't be your go-to resort for discipline. If you want to if you want to build a relationship with your child, you should talk to the kid first. You know what I mean? If all else fails and he's acting ridiculous in school and he's wilding regardless, that is the last option. Because, or actually, even then, you have to instill it in them while they're young. So, like certain things are acceptable. I mean, it does vary from parent to parent, but I'm not gonna say hitting children shouldn't be your first go around. It's like pat them on the ass with the bell a couple times, and eventually they get the point. You know, it's not continual beating. Like, bro, evident if you have to beat your child over and over and over again, evidently something isn't working. So, what do? Probably you send them to a police precinct or a correctional behavioral facility. Plain and simple. That at least that's simple for me. It might not be simple for someone else, but sometimes discipline comes when the child doesn't really deserve it, when they're just curious about certain stuff, and and I feel like children are sponges, so they hear politics going around at the dinner table and they want to chime in. They want to see what life can be. They want to see this perspective of life through you. They want to see the perspective of life through their mom or through their dad or through their uncles, their cousins, their grandparents. Anyone that is willing to listen to them, they will become your, not necessarily, you will become a leader to them, and it is on you to teach them the right thing and guide them through the right path. And I feel like in this generation, enough parents don't instill at, enough into their own children. Um, I'm glad that my father and my mother did, but a lot of people in this generation haven't instilled values or morals in their children, and people was and they're learning quick. Oh, I didn't cheat him this, or I didn't make him aware of this. Where they learn it? The internet, YouTube, social media, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, like unsafe sex and drugs and murder and rape, and the when you look at the statistics, they are not as bad as it once was back in the 70s and the 80s, but it's still staggering. And even if you're in a metropolitan state, like I live in New York, and there's some sections of New York that Although, for the most part, it is harmonized because of the Knicks championship run, there's still some people that are willing to be killed and willing to be murdered over a pair of J's, over just looking at somebody the wrong way, looking, just talking to somebody the wrong way. The third option is more deservable than the other two, but it can feel like you're walking on eggshells. But back on topic. What was I gonna say? Um, Discipline. But I grew up in a very strict disciplinary household. Um, and even at church, it would be someone's job to be like, yeah, you know, Orion is doing bad, so let's go and discipline him. Like I got many of them, me and many other of my friends have gotten beatings in front of the church consistently, consistently, and it gets to a point where you seek and yearn the validation of your parents, and you're gonna have to learn and adapt and try to adjust, and eventually you become a bad person. You become a villain in your own story because of the powder keg of emotions and the fact that you think that people think you're willing to deal with it. Like, and people commit suicide and people wonder why, and they never really take a second to look introspectively, like what could have caused it. It could have been the other person. And it's like people make stupid jokes about suicide and take fucking meds, and I truly hope you're fucking happy. You caused somebody to commit suicide or take their own life. A person that otherwise would have always been respected and beloved by somebody, and someone who brought comfort and joy to other, who sometimes brought joy and comfort to others over many years. Like, it's fucking weird. We come into this world to develop motor skills and to have courtship and to have friends and to build relationships and develop a life and grow a family. And then all of a sudden, it's like the person forgets that there is a person, that there's people in their life with the same emotions and feelings as the other person. These are real people. These are genuine people as well. People come into this earth as fucking characters, and nobody would ever let them nobody will ever let them show their emotions. Nobody would let them express themselves. Nobody would ever let them say, "Hey, lay it out all on me. Lay it out on me. Just be your true self for once. Let me love you for who you are." No, they just decide to let people sit there, and whenever shit did pop off, whenever something went wrong, that toxicity that toxicity kicked in hard, and it led them to ultimately do what they did. And I've gone through my fair share of mental health problems, and I decided to cut off communication with everybody and rely on only Jesus Christ, rely on God. Um, and there's some people on the internet that I speak to because um, due to time, people change. Things change, priorities change, lifestyle habits change, and the way people kind of treat you also changes they can't once they get what they want, or they realize that they can't get nothing more from you. I think that's enough said regarding that situation. But yeah, all it sometimes some people just want to be listened to. Sometimes people just want to feel that connection, that some people just want to be listened to. Just some people just want to be in the same room as a person and feel the same way that they're feeling and feel like they're not too far away. It's very rare. It's very rare, especially in this generation. It's very rare for somebody to meet you halfway. But I guess I have to say that, well, I got a few more topics regarding my personal life. It's not going to be that deep. But it's like I've been fortunate enough to get monetized, even though it's not like a mass amount of money. I just started getting monetized like a couple days ago. I am grateful to have. I'm proud to have that. But it just means not, especially for not having the job. If I want my channel to be successful, I would have to work my ass off every single day, every day, posting 3 videos a day, editing 3 videos a day, making thumbnails, rendering the video, doing a lot of work for the finished product to come out as passable, not like exceptional quality. Like I don't even have a $2,500 camera. I only record off a $40 fucking webcam. So um, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort to get to where you want to go, and it exhausts you at times. And I work, and it's basically like I work like a dead end job with nothing to show. Like literally, literally getting fucked over by corporate society, and I'm still trying to make ends meet. And bro, it just makes me so sad, bro. It's just so disappointing that you got so many people in this world that have nobody to talk to and feel like they have no escape. And it drives you to a place where you just want to end it all yourself because the pain is so burdening, and you kind of lost that childlike innocence that made life worth living in the beginning. But I just want to say, if you feel that way, if you feel depression, and if you wake up in the morning and you just feel like there's nothing to do, because the thing is, depression, people misconstrue depression and say that depression is feeling sad, but I would say depression is like feeling nothing. It's a deep rest from the character you portrayed. And it may seem ridiculous to say that life is just like a simulation, like a game, like you're playing a character of life, but everybody expects you to be someone. Everybody expects you to do certain things. Everybody expects you to hold your own, and and lo and behold, you're suffering trying to protect yourself because you've been hurt. You've been let on so many times and hurt so many times, and it just sucks, bro. It sucks that the relationships, the love that I have, the love that I want to give people is not really there anymore. Um, but even still, it's up to me to find that purpose in life. It's up to me to work and do YouTube to be in a better place. It's up to me to intervene in people's lives and make their day a little bit brighter and make them forget about reality. But I shouldn't say that. But there in actuality, there's a million other niggas on this YouTube thing creating breaks from reality for people. But I'm lost with the subject matter. It's kind of like I don't write shit. I'm winging this whole thing. So There's nothing behind me. I got my phone beside me. It's turned off. 1:26 on June 23rd. Great. But it's in those moments like like something, because something can happen in a moment where like, and this is the part where I say I encourage you to not take your life if you're contemplating about thinking about it, because trust me, I was in the same position as you. I was in the same position and I almost didn't make it. But if it wasn't for the earthquake, I would have pushed. I wouldn't have pushed through. Um, and it's in those moments that you like something could happen. Something in that quick instance, in that one moment, that you can is that 1 second is the difference between doing something that is life saving and something that is incredibly disastrous, something that you can never take back. And it's in those moments. Okay, it's gonna get very dark because I mean I took it there. I really took it there. It got dark already, but it's in those moments where you hear stories like I pulled the trigger and the gun jammed, and I tried to take a bunch, or I tried to take a bunch of sleeping pills, and it just made me more raw. I threw them up in the toilet. Like it's again, it's getting very dark. Or like I tried to hang myself and the noose didn't tie up to the seal. Like it's very subjective. Like jumping off a building and you end up landing on something that is soft that cushions your fall. You land on a tree branch. Like again, this is very subjective because there's a lot of factors that can go into someone taking their own life. Um, but for as long, okay, kind of lost it with the subject material, but it's in those moments where people say, I'm glad I came out of it with scars instead of me losing life. Like, I'm so glad that my body fought for me when my mind just couldn't. And it is a very, very terrible experience because I remember, because I was in the same position. Like, it was so bad when I was 17, 18. It was so bad, bro. Like, but it ultimately led me to the person that I am today because I had so many trials and so many errors. But it brought me back to the realization that I just have to try harder. So I don't want to see anybody in the comments, because I know people are gonna make fun of this and people are gonna say, "Ah, this is real." And this is the problem with a lot of things happening in like with our modern society, that this is still looked down upon, and people like to just, when people have a genuine story and have something that is real and something that they want to get off their chest, they just excoriate that person and just shame them and just hate on them and just disrespect them and shit on them. So I don't want to see any of that shit, because if you feel better for roasting someone because they had something that otherwise they cannot control, you are an awful person, and I don't want you in this community. I don't want to be associated with you. And people are gonna say, "Oh well, fine. I can type whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. Fine. Be a fucking asshole if you want to." But this just goes to the people who are trying, the people who are trying to get help, the people who are trying to get better, the people who are trying to move on from the past and towards a more brighter and prosperous future. So I think we're gonna end it here. there's a lot of other topics that I wanted to talk about, but you know, probably might as well just end it on this. Okay. Uh, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more.